opportunity to have their say regarding licensing decisions that may affect them. When determining the application, the subcommittee must consider the relevant evidence of all parties at today's hearing and have regard to the Council's licensing policy and the guidance issued under Section 182 of the Licensing Act 2003, and take the steps they consider appropriate to promote the licensing objectives. The options available to the committee are contained under Section 18(4) of the Act and shown within the report. I hope this sets out the application. I'm happy to answer any questions the subcommittee may have. Thank you. That was all that was had. The representative unfortunately didn't reply to my emails, and then I had that conversation with them on the phone to advise of the reduced hours that were offered, as that was included in what they would sort of request within their original representation, but they were not interested in accepting those reduced hours. It was mainly a conversation on the sale of vapes. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, just one question for the licensing officer. It's just to complete the picture more than anything else. We can obviously see the application and the hours requested. How does this compare with other licensing hours on the high street generally, be that pubs, clubs, restaurants, but also off sales? Any premises currently with off sales?
Thank you. So we have the Prince Arthur that is just shortly down the road, which has the same terminal hour of 1 AM at the weekends, and the same with Cara across the road from the proposed premises. I can double check on the off sales for those.
With those as examples, that's good enough for me. And during the week, is it consistent as well? Is it similar times?
Similar times, yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I believe the other off licenses that are further down the road, I believe that their terminal hours are earlier than 1 AM at the weekends. And I believe from the top of my head, I think they are 11 PM, potentially midnight.
Thank you. That just gives the picture on the high street. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. This is an application, as you've seen, for a shop which will sell many goods, but includes alcohol. Obviously, because it includes alcohol, we are here and needing a license in order to do that. But the shop will probably sell much more product, organic food, fruit and vegetables, and only a small portion will be the alcohol. But obviously all the focus is, of course, on the alcohol. Now, in relation to this particular application, Mr. Kessa has been involved in running a shop in London, a convenience store in East London, North East London, for the past 20 years. And he has a wife and 2 children, and as part of the process of looking for a good place for them to move to and to set up or relocate business-wise, he came to your area, and it's based on that research which has led him to make this application to identify the premises. You probably know the premises just around the corner from the council offices, and having identified them, obviously has gone through this process of making this application. The arrangements that he's got at the moment, just to fill in the background, are that he's got a conditional agreement in place in relation to the property, conditional really on getting the premises license. So if it gets the premises license, then of course there will be quite a bit of work to do, as you probably note from the premises, to turn the premises into an operating shop, possibly 2 to 3 months. And the intention is that over a period of time, he will also be able then to move into the area and will be very local in relation to the shop that he's running. Now, in dealing with the particular premises, and I've got one sort of thought on the representation as it was, not as it turned out to be, but as it was, in relation to the concerns for nuisance and crime and disorder. And so I'm going to approach the application really with a focus on that, if I may. So in relation to the premises, the door where it currently is will be relocated to the far left as you face the premises, and the counter will be on the sort of far right, or the alcohol will be on the far right of the premises where the counter is, as far away from the main entrance as it possibly could be. Obviously, the spirits would all be situated behind the counter, so there'll be no self-service in relation to spirits. In relation to the wines, they'll be next to the counter, and the fridge, which deals with any beers and wines, will be pretty much in front of the counter. So all of the alcohol is in that locality. My set of papers didn't have a plan, and that's why I've just tried to describe it to you. It would have been easier if I could have gone to the plan, but it doesn't matter. I think I've described it very well. Hopefully you'll agree with me. So that deals with the layout. I think that's important because one of the concerns is about unruly behaviour. And I know there's often concerns about shoplifting and about people rushing into a shop and then rushing out. And obviously, if the alcohol is very close to the entrance, then it's very easy for them to grab inappropriate, grab the alcohol, run out. And so we've dealt with that by the location of the items in the premises. The other area which I think is important is that obviously Mr. Kessler's intention is that he will be at the premises most days, most of the time. But in addition, at any one time, there would be 4 employees present on the premises. So that, I think, will have a controlling effect. It will also have a deterrence effect. If there are any people who are loitering outside or causing a problem outside, then obviously there will be staff who can not only deal with customers, legitimate customers inside, but will also be able to control people outside, move them on if that's necessary. In relation to the outside area, you'll have seen a condition which sets out page 19. That sets out the operating schedule, the proposed conditions, if you were, as to what we're offering in relation to the operation, and which we would invite the committee to put onto the licence should they grant it. And you'll notice that there's a detailed set of conditions there which deal with the CCTV system. Now, one of the under part 1, you'll see that there's the CCTV system would capture the head and shoulders of persons entering the premises and also the points of sale, which is very important, so that you can identify who's in there. But it will also cover the outside area. Now, it doesn't say that here, but I was checking with Mr. Kessler that it's not unusual for the CCTV cameras to cover the immediate area in front, not people walking past, but the immediate area. And as you'll note, I think the frontage of the premises is set back from the building line. So the CCTV will cover that external area. So again, with appropriate signage, with the CCTV cameras, with the staff, should there be anybody, even with all of that, who is then misbehaving, then of course it's captured on CCTV and the appropriate authorities can come along, can inspect the CCTV, interrogate it, and can do or take appropriate action in relation to any individuals who are causing problems. So that's what I would put forward in relation to addressing the representation. The situation in relation to crime and disorder, one of the things that you will have noted, of course, is that there is no representation from the police. And you will also be aware, of course, that if they had a concern in relation to crime and disorder, they have a statutory duty to deal with it and bring it to your attention. So the fact that they haven't brought anything to your attention, I would say, is very significant. And obviously the proposal as it's been put, the times as they've been set out, the conditions as they're set out, that addresses any concerns that they may have. It's on that basis that, taking into account your policy, which doesn't require a set of hours for off licenses, it says that obviously the sale of alcohol can be for the time that the premises is open. It's on that basis that I would seek the hours that are originally set out. The original offer that was put there, if it could have saved all of our time in coming along and dealing with this application, it's important, obviously, we do deal with the application, then obviously the hours would have been reduced in order to facilitate and to work with. But in this particular case, we haven't been able to do that. The issue in relation to vapes and vape products or cigarettes, I'm sure will develop as the licensing regime for those develops over this year. But at this moment in time, it's not relevant, obviously, to what we're dealing with today. I am sure that there will be lots of questions for Mr. Kessler or myself, but I don't think at this stage I probably need to proceed any further. I think I've covered most things.
I'll put my microphone on. I mean, I hate to disappoint you, but actually it's fairly clear to me what you're requesting and the points you made. I have one question, but you've answered it. And that was to hear from the applicant and his representative that you do indeed wish us to consider the original times and with the original application. So you've answered that already. It was your closing remark. So thank you.
Any questions, Mr. Sutherland?
No, that was very clear. I think we understand the proposal and we understand the issues. So no, I don't have any further clarification required.
Hopefully, yeah. We are planning to open the business and then move my 2 daughters and wife to the area.
You want to feel that you'll move, you identify the community.
Of course. Of course.
So can you give me some idea of the size of the unit? Because it used to be Amazon.
Yes.
Yeah,
it is, but we've been, as a family, trading in London for quite a long time, and the main things are organic food and veg, organic healthy grocery products, and obviously it's going to be part of the alcohol. But we've been running the business, and our family has been making our living on our business, which we are quite happy with it. So we hope it will be okay for us to settle down here as well.
So how long have you been running the shop in London?
Yeah, around 20 years. Yeah,
Do you mind yes, where you originate from?
from Turkey. Yeah.
I'm from Turkey, isn't it? Is that right?
So sorry.
You're based across the world, so you mentioned Turkey,
Take it.
but it's been an official change of name.
Turkey. Yeah.
So what's going to be the split between kind of alcohol items for sale and non-alcohol? And is it
Well, alcohol will be. It's going to be 90% of the store will be like grocery and fruit and veg, exotic fruit and veg, organics and stuff like that.
so? What market research did you do in terms of deciding to buy or rent this unit? Yeah.
Well, we have visited the area quite a lot in the past, and it just suddenly came out with the walkthrough, which I seen the quality of the people I have seen. It has given me that feelings that I can do it here.
You do want to open outlets and sell alcohol outlets to the evening and to the outlets. How many customers are you expecting to get at that?
I can't say anything about going into it at the moment. It will be too hard for me to like balance that. But in generally, like in like the type of convenience stores that we do, you get our main customers is just like the people after work for their shopping. So I'm not really sure.
We're very different to London. Obviously, it's quite a quiet place.
I have noticed it, but I believe with the selections that we do, which I have like driving through the area and going around the area, with the selections that we do, it is going to change the area. It is going to put effort to the area.
I've got no questions for you. Thank you.
Thank you. So just to sum up the report pack, so I'd like to remind the subcommittee that this application must be determined on its own merits. Any activities authorised and any conditions imposed must be appropriate and proportionate to this specific application. The focus of today's hearing should remain on the new premises licence application and the single representation received and the steps the subcommittee considers appropriate to promote the licensing objectives engaged by that representation. Members are reminded that only licensing matters may be taken into account. Non-licensing issues, including commercial competition or the sale of non-licensable products, must not form part of the decision-making process. When reaching its determination, the subcommittee must have regards to the Council's statement of licensing policy, the Section 182 statutory guidance, and the evidence and submissions heard today. It is important that the subcommittee provides clear and comprehensive reasons for its decision, particularly in anticipation of any potential appeal. Those reasons should clearly demonstrate how the decision has been made with regard to the Council's policy and the statutory guidance. Where members decide to depart from either document, the reasons for doing so must be clearly set out in the decision notice. Members are also reminded that the application must be determined within 5 working days of today's hearing. Once determined, the licensing authority is required to issue a formal decision notice, including the reasons for its decision taken. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. 5 points that I want to deal with just in summing up. The applicant and application we've gone through in some detail. It's a family business. It's a convenience store. And Mr. Kessa has a substantial experience of dealing with off-license convenience store premises. Secondly, this is an objection which has been, I think, identified as a trade objection. I think it can be seen for what it is, that it is a concern more about a competition than anything else. Thirdly, notwithstanding what I've just said about the trade representation, what I would say is the absence of a representation from the police, I think, speaks loud. It's indicative that there is not a problem in relation to the promotion of the licensing objective in relation to crime, preventing crime and disorder. And the fact that they've not made that representation, I think, as I say, speaks volumes. It's very important. Fourthly, there's a comprehensive set of conditions which are proposed, which I would invite the committee to put onto the license. I think they're important, and we would encourage you that should you grant the license, that those conditions are imposed. And finally, I would refer you to the guidance and its current version of that guidance from February of this year, paragraph 1.18, which refers that when making licensing decisions, all licensing authorities should consider the need to promote growth and deliver economic benefits. It's my submission to this committee that this application fits very much within that guidance, unless I can assist you further. Thank you, councillors. Thank you.